all I ever seem to find my heart lately. I'm starting to think that no one can save me. The darkness inside of my heart's not changing. I can see by the look on your face you hate me. I'm on that left suicide shit, superhero, no sidekick. Wanna see dead inside, just look me in my eyes, bitch.
Here we are.
Wednesday.
I don't know why it always surprises me when the video ends. I'm like, oh, hey,
Oh,
here we go.
Oh, shit.
We've done how many of these? And I'm still like, oh, okay.
More than 7. Hey, there's Nicole. Good morning, Nicole. Nicole's in Germany. Thank you. You're up very early once again. Thank you very much for being here.
morning, Nicole.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
We were on time tonight. Usually she messages us every week and she was like, where you guys at? She didn't have to do it this time.
Did you? Not this time. This time she'd be like, shit.
Ooh, Mason.
Not ready.
Mason's
There's
hanging
Mason.
out.
Hi, you rowdies. There you go. The regulars are trickling in. All right, man.
They'll
Well, yeah,
all be
Austin
here.
Archer. We'll all be. Welcome to the show, my man. Like we said, this is just a place to hang out and talk. We love indie artists, independent musicians, as you know. You sent me your tunes. I've been playing them on SLE, and fuck yeah. More than that, you are fucking hilarious, and I love how you troll bastards on the internet with your songs that you make. That shit is perfect. I'd like to know. My favorite one is that you're not being bullied.
Yeah.
That is my favorite one of all time. I saw a buddy of mine posted that on Facebook in this group that I'm in, and I was like, what in the fuck was that? That's perfect. And I
Yeah,
thought,
you know what's hard about this game is that, like, the first few that you break off, that's always going to be it for people. Like, that's always going to, you know, and it's like, and I love that one so much, but then it's like, it's like, what am I supposed to do for the rest of my life? Like, I'm like trying to be like, what else can I do? Let me make fun of Tucker Carlson. Let me, you know, and there's so much low-hanging fruit out there
there's so much
in the conservative internet.
Yeah.
But you're not being bullied is so, it really encapsulates kind of the whole message. It's so applicable across so many situations because they really do love to pretend that they're victims and that they're being bullied and silenced and censored and so it really kind of covers it, you know?
Yeah, that's just
Just hit the whole group one time.
Enough said. One time.
I should have quit after that.
No.
I should have quit.
I'm glad you didn't. I love all of them. I've been teeing off on your channel, your TikTok videos about like fuck. It's fun. It's funny. What made you want to start doing that? You're just like, you know what, fuck this. That's
you
it.
know, I've been making internet content since like 2015 for like my friends and family. You know, and I started this page on Instagram called Me and Me Comedy, and it was like me doing skits with myself about different topics, and it was followed by like a handful of high school friends and people that I've done theater with and stuff. But like Instagram was never really the place for comedic videos. It was like, I sort of like got on there like as Vine was dying out and tried to make Instagram the new Vine. Never really happened. And I was sort of waiting. I didn't know this, but I was sort of waiting for TikTok to come around to be like, oh, that's the right medium for me. And then the pandemic happened too, and everyone was making TikTok content. It's like what everyone went and did. And so I thought, well, I'm home. I don't have the ability to go to work. I was furloughed from my job, and I was working at a restaurant in Pasadena. And I thought, well, let's make some TikToks. And TikTok's been doing this thing in 2020 where they've just been like blowing people up. You know, like they like all these people who have never had any success on the internet, just like, you get a viral video, and you get a viral video, and you get a viral video. And so I had a video go big, and it got me addicted. And I chased that dragon for a while, and I kind of got stuck at like 10,000 followers for like 6 months. And I was like, I'm stuck. And then I had You're Not Getting Bullied and a series of videos like boom, boom, boom. It was like that, turtleneck and blazer, and a video called I think it's time to delete your account. And it was all of a sudden like 100,000 followers, and it's just been kind of growing since from there. And now it's like it's my job. I don't have to work at the restaurant anymore.
You can just make content.
Yeah, I make content for brands, and that's what I do for work. And I have like lots of different income streams now from content creation, and
Nice.
I'm making more money doing this than I have doing anything else I've ever done.
It's fucking perfect. Good for you, man.
It's insane. It's crazy.
That's insane. Just
It's also
lot
like
can be-
probably going to end in like
wow.
5 minutes. So
It could, I guess. That's
Yeah.
gonna be some fucking pressure. Hey, that's like, fuck. Now what? Now what do I do?
Well, and I've seen like a lot of TikTokers that, they get huge and then they get those trolls that come in, or like the Karens kind of start coming after them.
Karens.
And like, there's one, I think the dude is hilarious, and he just talks shit to people. Like, he just sits in the front seat of his car and talks shit to people all the time. And he's been banned. Like, he had like 3 different accounts that have been banned already. And like, have you run into any of that doing this, or has it been pretty?
Oh yeah. We're going out there poking a hornet's nest, and like, of course, they're coming. Like, we're ringing the bell, and they're coming, and so it's like, of course. But the thing is, I for a while I was following all these progressive liberal TikTokers who were doing stuff like that, sitting in their cars responding to people, and I thought, wow, TikTok really has a political bias against us, which is kind of like shocking, because I feel like most of the platform is like more progressive than conservative. And I was like, wow, they're really censoring like a lot of liberal stuff. I had videos taken down for bullying and harassment where I was like responding to a person who like said something really racist. And I was like, well, that person should have their video taken down.
Yeah.
But what
Fuck
I found
this.
is I started going into the comment sections on some of these conservative TikTokers accounts that people tag me and stuff. They're like, you should talk to this person, or you should take down this person. And all of them were claiming the same thing. They were all like, well, if you guys would stop censoring our videos because TikTok hates conservatives. And I was like, what? I was like, well, so you're getting taken down too? And what I've realized it actually is, by I've actually been able to talk to some people at TikTok because of my now job. And they were like, what the algorithm's actually designed for is they want TikTok to be like the fun place.
Yeah.
So anyone who's making content that inspires people to like fight in the comments, you're probably going to get some videos taken down. And it has nothing to do with right or left. It's just you're hosting a place for people to fight, which is like, okay, well, welcome to the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Like,
You're on the fucking internet. Yeah.
yeah. So
It's like, hi, TikTok. Have you never heard of Facebook or anything else?
Don't tell TikTok, but they're on the internet.
Right. And what's weird is it's super inconsistent. I think that's what frustrates people, is like not hard to go find a good fight to get into in a comment section in TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Not hard at all. And like, it's not hard to like find lots of videos of people. Like, one of the most popular things on the app right now is people stitching another person's video and like dunking on them. Being like, I'm going to stitch the first part of your video, and then I'm going to respond to it and tell everyone, all of my followers, why you're an idiot. And like, that's like a very popular trend. So it's definitely out there, but intermittently you will get flagged, you will get warnings, and it's because it's not being run by people. It's being run by an algorithm, and there's tens of millions of videos being uploaded every hour. So there's no way they can get to all of them.
Yeah, they can.
And most of your videos are going to get through the filtration system. But every once in a while, if you're a person who is in that space on TikTok, you're going to get flagged. And so you got to be careful. I have to be careful with exactly how I go about wording my arguments now. And I try very hard to make sure I'm not picking out a specific person. And if I am, that person better be like famous. I can be punching up.
Yeah. Punch up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so funny.
I get bummed out when someone will tag me in an account that I'm like, oh, this person is just like a gold mine of like stupidity. But they have like 3,000 followers, and I even feel bad. I'm like, I feel bad. Like,
it's like I can't do that to them.
You're like punching a child. You can't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's like it's not really worth it at that point.
Yeah.
But if it's someone who has like 3 million followers on there, I'll be
Go
like,
for
oh
it.
yeah, sure. You got enough attention that I can come and be like, you suck.
Fuck you. Hey, down here. Right there.
They're like, you are an idiot.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I know a lot of people that I've seen that are on there that are having that problem have started, like they've kind of taken back to Instagram and they're using like the Reels feature and everything. Like, have you started using that anymore, or are you still just kind of you're using the?
Yeah, I try to post on all platforms every platform I'm on is like Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I post on all of them almost every day. YouTube's the one I post the least on, just because, you know how it is on YouTube. Like your favorite YouTubers post like once a month. So I post like a video a week on YouTube because people get to YouTube videos when they get to them. But Instagram and Twitter and TikTok are more the spaces where they expect,
a constant stream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your Instagram account was probably the main reason why I opened Instagram again once I found out you were on there. I was like, fuck yeah. And that's awesome. So
it's all the same content. It's all just so Instagram is boosting Reels right now, which is a great thing for creators because it's been a while since the Instagram algorithms have been like open, and they've got their algorithms open for Reels. So people are posting a lot of their TikToks to Reels.
Yeah.
They're only 30 seconds. And so I'm a long-winded motherfucker, and I very rarely make videos that are shorter than 50 seconds. And so I always have to like think of ideas that can be 30 seconds so it can work on TikTok and on Instagram and get a little twofer. But yeah.
That's awesome. And now you make music yourself as well. You have that the album you released in 2020. The Comeback, man. How the hell did you do that? What a tune! Like what got you into music? Like what were some bands that when you were a kid you're listening to?
There's a lot on that album that's me like shouting out stuff that I listened to when I was younger. Yeah. And there's a lot of me like putting a lot of my early influences and stuff because so I've been writing music since I was like 15. I'm 33 now, and I've been putting out albums since around then too. And that was honestly like the main impetus for trying to grow an online audience was like to build an audience for the music. And like I have a podcast called People Pleaser, and I was just trying to like build an audience for some of the content that I put out. It never was to like make the internet videos and stuff the main thing. I always wanted to like push people toward the music and stuff. It's just very hard. It's really hard to get people to like people are constantly surprised that there's actual music out there. But I'm like, of course I'm making all these music videos on TikTok. Like, do you think I just learned how to do that yesterday? Yeah, like that's, like I obviously like this is something that I do. But yeah, I'm happy that you found the 2020 album. I'm really proud of that album. But
I love the Corey Feldman album too.
Corey Feldman. Yeah, Corey Feldman is an album I'm very proud of. I think it's a really fun concept for an album. At the time, so I used to write just like really sad music. I grew up listening to, I loved as a teenager like Dashboard Confessional and pop punk. I'm like a huge Elliott Smith fan, Nick Drake, all these guys that killed themselves. Kurt Cobain, and like very romanticized the like depressed young artist singing about their feelings.
So you were a fan of when music was good, the grunge era. Hell yeah, brother. I'm still in that era, so there you go. That's
right. But yeah, I also was a huge pop punk fan as a teenager, and I also always really liked singer-songwriter people. I've always really liked people who are just good storytellers with music. I'm a musical theater person, I'm actually a theater actor. And so like anyone who can tell a good story in a song, that's why I have like a secret little thing for country, old country, storytellers, George Strait, Johnny Cash, Jason Isbell is one of my favorites right now. Who's like
Jason Isbell,
Jason Isbell, like people who can tell a good story with their lyrics. Ben Folds is like one of my all-time favorites. But on that album, Beautiful Things, you can really hear a lot of my lyrical influences.
Yeah.
And then there's like straight up just some pop punk, rock and roll stuff from when I was a kid on there, like The Comeback and Crack in the Sequoia. But yeah, Beautiful Things is like, it's the happiest album I've ever written. It's the most upbeat, joyous album I've ever written. I wrote nothing but sad songs my whole life. And Corey Feldman was like this really like sad album where I was just sort of like, Corey Feldman doesn't know that he sucks, so how do I know I don't suck? Like, that's my whole thing, is that, like, Corey Feldman doesn't have an artistic objectivity about his own work. He thinks that his music's great. I think it's some of the worst music ever produced by anyone.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, how do I know that I'm not just as bad? And that's the whole point of Corey Feldman. And then Beautiful Things is sort of this like reclamation of being like, you know what? I'm probably
I'm
never
not as bad as Corey Feldman. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm never gonna be probably very famous for doing this stuff. And I got sober 3 years ago, and I wrote Beautiful Things as sort of like just like a celebration of like, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy. I can write happy songs without feeling like an idiot and without feeling cheesy. And I don't feel that like young man's thing of being like, I got to make sure everyone knows that I'm sad. Like I don't. And yeah.
That's
so
cool.
That's Beautiful Things.
It's honestly a great album for sure. Like I was interested as soon as I saw your videos first, and then when I found out, it's like, you know, when you're sitting there playing the music on You're Not Being Bullied, I was like, well, yeah, he's got to have something somewhere for sure.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh yeah, okay, here we go. You know, I got like three albums up there, I believe, on the streaming services. I was just looking.
The fun thing about the TikTok music is it's really inspired me to like, I kind of want to move in that direction for like my next solo album, because I've enjoyed making that like synth pop sound so much. And it's been like such a nice thing to play in that sometimes I'll make a beat or like a background track for one of my TikTok songs, and I'm like, damn, I'm kind of mad that this is just going to be like a silly TikTok song. I really like this. Like, this is great.
Maybe I should bank that for later.
Yeah. So.
Just repurpose it later on your next album. It'll
yeah, and someone will be like, this is Turtleneck and Blazer.
I love that one too. That would have me fucking dying.
Yeah.
Turtleneck and Blazer. Yeah. Sharp like a laser. What I was like, yeah.
On point like a laser.
On point like a laser.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff, man. That's the good stuff. Well, that's cool. I always wonder how guys like get into making content for a living. So that's really interesting that you're doing it, man.
I wanted the same thing about a year ago. I was like, because my whole life, you know, like my dad and everyone in my life's like, so how are you gonna get paid doing this? And I'm always like, I don't know. I think
but it'll happen. Yeah.
I mean, people would like start buying the albums or something, and I would sell like, you know, I'd have like a random weekend sometimes where I'd be like, I sold 10 albums. I made $100 this weekend. And it's like, well, that's obviously not going to be a living, but it's like something. And then I think that how people do it is you build your audience to the point, and you really do have to kind of like, most people have to commit to doing it while they don't have that much of an audience. You have to just sort of like keep showing up, keep putting out the show, keep putting out the podcast, keep putting up the new content, keep tweeting while you've just got a handful of your friends and family watching. And it's sort of embarrassing, and it can feel a little bit pathetic sometimes, because you're just like, everyone's looking at me going like, he thinks he's an influencer, but he's not. And you're like, well, I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm just trying to see if I can get my audience to a point where like, if I started a Patreon, I'd maybe have enough people to like have a little bit of an income stream there. And then if I had like some merch, I'd maybe have enough people buy the merch that there's another income stream. Yeah. And then if I've, you know, maybe got enough pull that I can sort of negotiate some brand deals with some brands and do some sponsored content. And if like I got all these things going on, I can pool it all together to like maybe make myself a little bit of a livable thing here, you know. Yeah. But it takes time to build.
Yeah.
It's not a quick game. And Patreon, I think, like I had a podcast for a while, but I burnt out doing it. I was doing it every night, and I just, you know, talking to musicians, stuff like that. No offense to the musicians. It wasn't you. You were fine. You're fantastic. But I burned out. The Patreon was always hard to navigate for me. It's like, what could I offer these fuckers? Mm-hmm. You know, what would be something that I could do that they would pay me money for monthly?
Dude, I just launched my Patreon last week,
nice.
and I'm already like, because I so in addition to all the content that I make for my pages, for my personal accounts, I am the creative director for a company called Creatorhood that makes sponsored content for like brands and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so I've got to like manage all of that content every single day. Then I've also got to post my own content. Now I've got the Patreon where I'm like, okay, I need to have Patreon specific content as well.
Yeah.
And like, I need to like make Patreon exclusive things for just the people who are giving me money. And I'm already like, oh boy, I don't know if I have the time. So
that was my next question. How do you fit all that in? Like you're juggling a lot.
Yeah, man. I'm trying. And then on top of that, like somehow I also have to like date my girlfriend. Like I have to
like have a relationship.
I have to maintain something.
For the Patreon.
I've got to like call my parents every once in a while and like talk to my friends and go to AA meetings. You know, like it's so I have to like this year, almost every few weeks, I've been like restructuring my calendar and being like, okay, this is how I'm going to do it now. Like this is the day that I record the podcast. This is the day that I do the podcast editing. This is the day that I upload. Every day is content. I have to like upload in the morning, shoot the videos for tomorrow in the afternoon, then like upload my second batch of videos in the evening, and then repeat that cycle. But then now I just have to fit in the Patreon content too. It's a lot, you know. I think that the thought that people have, and I know this because it was my thought that people have of like the life of a person who makes money doing content creation on the internet, is that it's like you're kicking back playing video games on Twitch and like you're just raking in the money. And I'm like, no, it's a full-time everyday gig where you're having to negotiate brand deals, where you're constantly in charge of making sure that you're keeping the income stream alive. And it's not as simple as just sitting down and hitting record and then uploading the thing. Like a lot of people, it's like, I feel like I'm a one-man production studio that's like producing a giant TV show every day by myself. And so, you know, it's a lot. It's probably more hours than I've ever worked. So I guess it's fitting for the fact that I'm making more money, but it's definitely a full-time job.
Now, are you a one take kind of guy? Like whatever comes out that first try, like that's it. That's what's going up.
Mostly, so when I do skits, I do these skits where I talk back and forth to myself still, like very much like early roots of when I was making content. And I sort of get the script in my head of what I want to do. And then I put on two different costumes, but like I put on like the first costume first and I shoot that whole thing, that whole part of the scene. And I do like 2 or 3 versions of each line of dialogue. And then I switch costumes and I do 2 or 3 versions and I just shoot it straight through. And then I just sit down and just cut it up on my editing software. And I can get them all done. Like, because I've been doing it for a while now, I can get it like shot, edited, captioned, and up in like 3 hours.
Nice.
But it's still like every time I'm about to start one, I'm like, here we go. Because it's like I kind of like plow through it, you know. And but I can go pretty quickly now. And I don't futz around with a million takes or trying to get things perfect. And it's actually been very beneficial to my acting career. Like that's the other thing is this whole time that all of this stuff's been happening online, my acting career is like massively picked up, which is great, but it's also like one more thing.
One more thing to do. Sorry, my Patreon won't.
And I think it's because though TikTok changed the way that I do auditions. So everything because of the pandemic has become self-tape. You don't go into auditions anymore. You don't go to the studio and like go in and audition. Everything is self-tape. So everyone's just filming themselves at home doing these auditions. And because of TikTok, I learned like I'm pretty good and like pretty funny when I'm just sort of like relaxed and I'm not concerned about being a good actor and I'm just sort of letting it rip. So when I get sides for like a show or a commercial or something, the first take that I get that I think is clean and like I hit all the things that I needed to hit, I just take that one and just send that in. And I sometimes will edit my self-tapes kind of like I would edit a TikTok. I'll like cut in and like punch in on my face for like comedic beats and stuff like that. And it's been like it's been like fantastic for my for business. Like I just have been like booking like 40% of my auditions, which is crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. So hopefully we can keep that up too.
Yeah.
And that's another revenue stream that, you know, we just,
There'll be another calendar restructure. It's like, shit, now I have one more thing I'm doing.
Other thing. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's awesome.
No, like I've seen some people, like I know if I'm bored every now and then, I will make a couple of TikToks or something. But as soon as I realized that, like I tried to do like all my videos at one time when I was like trying to do something with it. And then I immediately went, this is taking me like 6 or 7 hours to do like 10 videos that I'm going to turn around and post like over a couple of days. And then I got to turn around and do it again. I got kids, I got animals, I got, you know, at the time I was not working from home. So I was just like, I don't have time for this. Like, there's no way I have time for this. And then I've seen people that like, you know, friends of mine that will just they'll retake the same video like 15 times. And I'm like, bro, just roll with it. Like, let it go.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it really is a time commitment. People go on and they think like, oh, geez, all these kids are just like getting famous and it is like, there's a lot of little kids who just get famous for literally just holding their phone and being like they don't do anything. Like, you know, but like they're popular because they're young and the world loves young people. And there's a lot of young people using the app who are also following each other and all that stuff. But, you know, for people who want to like come in and try to like build an audience on there to try to build out the audience for other stuff like this, for live streams and stuff like this, it can become a real time commitment really fast, like a really serious. When I was first starting and I got my audience up to like 10,000, I met this guy who had just reached about 400,000 and he was just like growing by thousands every single day. He now has 4.5 million followers.
Jesus. And
we're still good buds. Like he does my podcast all the time, but he just grows like at an insane rate all the time. But he told me when I met him, he's like, how often do you post? And I was like, and I thought this was a lot. I was like, yeah, I post like 5 times a week. And he was like, no, he was like 3 times a day. And I was like, 3 times a day? And he was like, yeah. And I was just like, dude, no. I was like, I have a life. No, I don't have time for 3 a day. And then You're Not Getting Bullied video happened. And it like, I got some traction and he came back to me and he was like, dude, for the next 30 days, for the next month, 3 a day. He was like, I'm telling you, 3 a day. And I was like, okay, you know what? I didn't listen to this guy. Let me just try it for 30 days. For 30 days, I did 3 a day, and it was 100,000 followers in a month in 30 days. It was just, and it's because that app just wants you to be hitting the algorithm
right now,
over and over again. And so I don't do 3 a day anymore. I'm back down to like 1 a day, sometimes 2 a day. And sometimes I can even skip days now, which is really great.
Don't tell them that. Yeah. Your Patreon.
You know? But that like initial month of like, and I think for anyone starting out, like it might be a couple months of like, if you can go like 2 to 3 a day, like go hard, you know, but that's not everyone, like you said, kids and like, a lot of people don't have that kind of time to just be posting videos all day long and making them.
Yeah. Like now it's hey, my kids aren't here and I've had like 4 beers. I'm going to make a TikTok. Woo. Yay. Like, you know, or I'll be sitting there. I'm like, I'm really bored. Like I have nothing at all to do.
Yeah.
This never happens. I got to do something. So I'll make a TikTok. And I don't know. I think I've posted like 2 in the last 3 months because I'm just like, I don't care.
I think that's how most people do it, you know, and like, and that's totally fine. I think, you know, it's just like, you realize real quick, you're like, okay, this probably isn't going to like be my job. Like, I'm just going to like post when I have a funny idea and that's totally fine. You know?
Yeah. That's fair enough. What's your podcast about?
My podcast is we have a different topic every week. I talk to a different guest every week and they bring in something that they're passionate about, something that's important to them. I always try to boil it down to like 1 word or 2 words, just so the episode is like, we're talking about this, like we're talking about this, you know, and People Pleaser's the name of it because I am a people pleaser, and it was like sort of a thing that I like work on the most in my life is like working on being more direct with people and not, but I have this desire to like please everyone, you know? And so you can stream, someone just asked, where can we stream Austin's podcast? You can stream my podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, most places that podcasts stream. It's called People Pleaser with Austin Archer. Yeah, but we have a different topic every week. It's a discussion podcast. Sometimes it's just me. I do these like mini-sodes sometimes where I just like have a thing that I want to rant about for like 30 minutes straight. But I also do like every week I do a live recording of the intro and outro to the podcast on TikTok. Nice. So I record the intro and outro to my podcast live in front of an audience. And then we do a portion at the end of the show called the TikTok, TALK, where they can ask questions and I respond to their questions and we talk about like what the episode was just about. And so, yeah, it's fun. Every Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, I'm doing the TikTok. You can catch me there.
On the TikTok, on the TikTok machine. That's sweet. That's cool. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to go look. Yeah. That's dope. Fuck yeah, man. So so with your music, are you trying to book any gigs? Like, is that something you would try to do, or is it too challenging out there?
Here's the thing about me playing live.
A lot of work goes into it.
Yeah, you've heard my album. And so first is I play all the instruments on my album. So
damn impressive.
I don't have a drummer or a lead guitarist or a bassist or a keyboard player or backup vocals and all of those songs.
You're all of them in one.
Yeah, and all of those songs, I can do them all acoustic, but it's like my dream is really to be able to play that album with a full band. Nice. Like that's how it should be heard. I would love to go on a tour of that album. Like now that like COVID restrictions are lifting and stuff and people are getting vaccinated, I would love to tour that album. I'm putting out a deluxe edition of that album later this year on vinyl. It's gonna be a double vinyl.
Oh,
let me know. Let me know. God damn it! I'm a vinyl freak. I'm a fucking.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's gonna have the front and back artwork and everything. Double vinyl, 6 additional songs that aren't on the one right now.
Farrell, you're hearing this, right? That's my wife, Farrell. Double vinyl thing. There you go.
Farrell, yeah. So very excited about that. I would love to tour that album, but it's also like I really want a band. And now that I have a little bit more capital, I've toyed with the idea of like just hiring out a band and being like, y'all want to come on the road for a few weeks with me, and just I'll pay you each, an upfront lump sum and then a cut of the house every night, and see if I can get a band together. But I don't really want to do a tour if it's just going to be me and my guitar, because I've done that a lot and I always feel very underwhelmed with how it goes, because the songs just aren't like what they're supposed to be. Right. And also like, I'm just not great live by myself because I don't play a lot live. I play live shows like 2 or 3 times a year, and I am notorious for fucking up, and I fuck up a lot less when I have a full band with me. Cool. I seem to be able to like lean on.
You can blame them. It's like, oh, you fucked me up. What the fuck? Oh god.
I can stop playing guitar for a minute and like just like sort of like move. Like the bass and the keys will still be there, the drums will still be there. But yeah, so I that's something I've been thinking about doing, is like cutting out some time to take that last album on tour, since we didn't get to do it in 2020, and maybe doing like the deluxe edition, maybe like a fall 2021 tour. And I would ask my TikTok following and stuff like, where is everyone and where would be the best places for me to come by, So
I've seen that happening a lot. Like people are out there and they're going, hey, where like the most engaged followers are like, where are you guys at? And they're booking all kinds of stuff just based on where the people that they know will come see them are.
Right. Because it's so many people have an audience that dwarfs anything they ever had before in their lives. Mm-hmm. So you're seeing all these people on TikTok who are like, wow, like I've been a traveling musician or a traveling comedian or a performer for like years with no kind of audience. And all of a sudden I've got like 500,000 people who like tune in every day to like see what I want to see what I'm going to say. So where are y'all at? Let's do some shows. Like let's let's get back out there, sell some tickets, you know?
Exactly. And I
think that's probably the best part, because you're not, if somebody's booking a tour for you, you have no idea if anybody's going to show up or not. But if you've got 500,000 people and you can say, where are you all at? And then take the biggest concentrations of those, there's going to be people there.
Yeah, God, I would go to a town if I had 50 people there. If there were like 50 people in some town, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. Let's do some show at like a dive bar, and 50 of you show up, and then the rest of the people in the bar will be like, who's this guy? And it'll be a great time. Let's do it.
Those are the best shows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do music here? What? Okay, cool.
I saw one of my favorite bands. One of my favorite bands of all time is called Slow Club. They're this duo from the UK, this folk rock duo. And I saw them, and my friend and I drove out to San Diego from Utah. I'm from Utah originally. We drove out to San Diego to see them play. We thought we were going to see them at this like big venue, but they played this big arena show the night before the show we were going to. And we caught them at this dive bar in San Diego. And it was like 20 people at this dive bar. And it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. It was amazing. We were so like honored to be able to be in such like a small space with them,
That's totally
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
That's when the best shows happen. I worked many years security at concerts, a small venue in my city at the time, and I saw so many fucking bands, often poorly attended, I would say, and a lot of people missed out on some great shit. But there was one band from BC called Ninja Spy, and I saw them I've probably seen them 3 or 4 times, but it's 3 brothers, singer, guitar player, bass and drums. But the singer would literally play with like a sai. He'd do like a guitar solo with a fucking martial arts weapon, and they were doing like spin kicks and shit. And it was the most fantastic live show you'll ever see. They're awesome. There you go, Ninja Spy forever. That's right. You're damn right.
Ninja Spy.
Check them out, man. They're like a total fusion project. They do like a reggae, metal, whatever you want. It's
they
awesome.
Are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love those shows because you get to be like, because it's such a small crew, like you're so much closer than you would be like under normal circumstances. Like, you go to the arena and you've got the barricade there and everything else. Like I saw Jackson United, which is Chris from the Foo Fighters. It's his little side project, or one of them. He has a billion, but they played this teeny tiny, like it was a stage set in the corner, like, how they're just that tiny little thing. And, I'm standing like, here's Chris Shiflett right here. And it was like, this is so cool. Like,
that's awesome.
And Butch Walker was another one. I saw him at like this tiny little venue in Chicago. And it was just like, this is so rad. Like you just get so much closer to him, and I think you have that bigger connection, so it's so much more fun.
Yeah, and that being said, I haven't in my life been to a lot of like big stadium shows.
Yeah.
And there's a couple bands that I would like to see at like a big show. I've always wanted to see the Killers live. They're one of my favorite bands of all time, and they kind of exclusively only play stadium shows. But I would love to see them at just a massive venue where there's, 15, 20,000 people singing along to every single song. And I'd be happy to be one of those people, be a speck in that crowd. But yeah, for the most part, my experience with concerts is small venues, and my favorite shows to play are small venues. I always love a good like living room show, especially if I'm going to be playing acoustic and solo. I would prefer to do that in someone's living room. In fact, while the pandemic was still going on and I released that album, I had this idea to do like a backyard tour.
Yeah.
I was going to do like the Pacific Northwest and like see if I could book some like cool backyards of maybe like some punk houses or something, and take the album on tour and just be like, it'll be a socially distanced backyard thing. And everyone can come over and we'll just like have chairs spread out across a backyard. And as long as I'm like plugged into like with like a microphone and we plug in the guitar, we should be good. But usually house shows, everyone's like listening, people are engaged. They're there for the music. They're not like at a bar where they came to hang out with their friends and now the music's interrupting their night.
Yeah.
They're actually like excited to be to be there.
I hate that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate when they talk over the band at the bar. When, like you said, when the music is there, just interrupted their night. Like I saw a buddy of mine was playing a show. The guy that actually shared your video, he was a good singer songwriter, and he was playing some restaurant or something in the city, and people are like talking over him as he's trying to sing. I just fucking laughed. I was like I came here to see him. Like, this is bullshit.
I played a lot of those shows.
Show some goddamn respect to the man with the microphone. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. You always see those people in the front too, who like, I'll be playing like a bar show, and there's always like those couple people who, people I don't even know, but who are like, if there's a musician playing, I'm coming up to the front and I'm going to
start shit.
And I'm going to stake my claim and I'm going to watch, but like, it's like those people who are like, I'm going to come up and watch, and it's noisy and there's people talking, but there's like one guy who's like standing at the edge of the stage, and every song that I'm playing, when I finish, he's like,
yeah,
he's like clapping and he's like, yeah,
trying to like hush the other people with his eyes when they start to.
Yeah, I love that.
It's that guy that's been there since like 1:30 that afternoon, and
waiting.
He doesn't know what he's doing anymore, but he's like, yeah, this is good. I like this.
Bopping his head to every song, and then like in between songs,
there.
You write that? You write that? You're like, yeah, I wrote that. He's like, yeah, cool. Hell yeah. Like, thanks, man.
I love that guy.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I'd probably stop playing if it wasn't for you. So thank you.
It's like I just would have laughed.
Just for that.
Yeah.
Would have just been screw it. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome, man. I hope you do put out that double vinyl. And everybody that's in the comments here, all you guys that are hanging out with us, Mason, Nicole, JB, Ryan was here. Sorry, Ryan, I saw your thing. I forgot to say hi. But go check out Austin Archer's YouTube, his TikTok, Instagram, all that, and check out his albums, Ryan. You're a fucking monster for supporting these indie musicians. You're a hell of one yourself. Go check out his album. It's good stuff. It's really good. All you guys go check it out.
Please do.
Corey Feldman.
It's fun. It's a fun album. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of stuff that sounds like it was recorded in someone's bedroom on like shitty equipment, but it's kind of got a lot of character and a lot of texture. And then Beautiful Things, I think, is like the most like put together sound that I've got.
It's the most polished one, right?
Yeah. But
I love those bedroom recordings.
You want progression.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to listen to bands that started off as like lo-fi bedroom rock bands and to listen to the progression. So some people like get bummed out, like the fans will be like, oh, I didn't like that they went all like studio, and I'm like, oh, come on, like that just means that they're progressing. They're stepping there. That means that they're growing.
You should be happy. It's like, thank Christ they're not using a fucking M box anymore. They're in a studio doing shit.
Well, you've always got those people that are like, it's almost like they don't want the artist to grow because they just want to keep that like their little secret type.
Yeah.
They think I'm like that. It's like, don't ever fucking like forget Ninja Spy happened. It's gone.
If you love something, let it go.
Yeah.
Right.
They're yours now. I don't need them anymore.
Yeah. Let them grow. Be happy for your bands that do better. And but I was talking about that with someone the other day about like how people, even on social media and stuff, the more that they grow, the more resentment they get in their comment section. So talking about trolls and stuff like that, it's like the bigger the account is, the more likely it is that if you go into their comments, you're going to see some like nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Because people resent that kind of like that you have some level of like attention or something like that. And so I was joking the other day on a live stream that I was doing. I was like, I had just gone over 200,000 followers, and I was like, well, let's push this account to the point where my comments are more hate than like comments. Like, let's get it so big that it's just that people are just like, I hate that guy. Like, we just want people in the comments.
Yeah. You used to be cool, Austin Archer. Now you're a dick because you got an extra 100,000 followers. Fuck him.
I want old fans to like hate me.
You used to be cool, bro. You changed.
Yeah. You sold out, man.
You got successful following shit that you wanted to do. Like, it doesn't matter how much work you put into this thing. Fuck off. Like,
exactly. And I wish that success for you too as well. I want you to get so big that the people who are in the chat right now.
We don't even need to be big for that. I had some asshole on here saying, fuck that guy last night. I was like, who the fuck you are? It's like, awesome. There's like 10 people watch this fucking thing sometimes. So I made one comment about how Canada had passed the states with vaccinations, which we had. It's not an opinion. It's not like I like cheese, and this guy's like, fuck you for liking cheese. It's like, no, that's a thing. That's a statement, not an opinion, you know. And he's like,
fuck you for liking cheese.
Canada's still on lockdown. So, you know, do your research. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm in Canada. Thank you. Like, I know we're not really on lockdown. My statement was about us passing the states with vaccinations, but that's fine.
You cheese liking son of a bitch.
Exactly. I guess I'll just go fuck myself for being right. So thanks. You know.
I'm sorry that I looked at statistics. My bad.
Yeah.
There is no level. Like people will get so petty in the comments, and sometimes the pettiness pisses me off more than just like the bad politics.
That's
like,
right.
I posted a video the other day that's like a song called Vaxxed, and I'm like, I'm vaxxed, waxed, wearing slacks. Like it's kind of like getting vaccinated. But like probably 12 people in my comments had to comment that like I was wearing this jacket and I didn't cut the little like thing that they put on it in the store where they like sew the tails together.
Yeah.
And all these people were like, hey man, you need to cut that little thread. And I was like, y'all, this pettiness is like gonna send me over the edge. Like I'm fine with all the like anti-vaxxers in my comments saying dumb shit, but this pettiness about this thread, I'm gonna block you. Like
that's bullshit.
Like I'm gonna lose my shit right now.
I'm gonna block you on this petty shit that you're throwing out right now.
Do better for me. Yeah. Oh, it's good. No, it was great, man. We'll wrap it up. Sarah's got her radio show now on SLE, and then I'll be there later. But you're fantastic, dude. We wish you all the success in the world, and you have an open fucking invite anytime you want to come shoot the shit again.
Oh, I'd love to come back. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
And please let me know about the double vinyl. Send me a DM when it goes to the pressing plant. I don't even care when you ship it out. I want to know when it's on its way to the oven. Then I
absolutely will.
I'll buy it. I might fucking buy two just so no one else can have the extra one. So suck it.
It's like I'm gonna buy them all.
I'll buy them all. Thank all you guys for joining in with us. Thank you, Meduto Effect, fucking Fellowship Brand, SLE Radio, all you guys, great sponsors. We love you. Thank you. But yeah, man, Austin Archer. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Stay safe, brother.
We'll see you guys later.
Take it easy.
Later, guys.